It's 10:33. Oh, I'm drinking. What I'm drinking is echinacea tea. I drink so I can relax and not get nervous. Echinacea tea. Okay, so hit request. You gotta hit request to get on. Hit request button. Immediately you gotta hit request. Okay, view. So it's gonna load now.
Yeah. Oh,
Can
how's
you hear
that?
me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm turning up the volume. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview. I'll do my best to keep this in half an hour. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. If it goes over, don't worry.
Anybody who's watching this, I'm very excited today. So if I get a heart attack, fucking call 911. All right. Okay. Steve. Steve Ignorant, Mr. Steve Ignorant. You don't need any introduction because everybody knows who you are. But before we start the interview, we're gonna do something fun. It's gonna be
Go on,
something that will spark your brain cells. This is from the
go
late
on.
this is from the late 90s. It's at the Dial House.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, two of my friends came and visit you, Jen and Rhonda, in the late 90s.
Jane, Jane, yeah, do you know what? I remember them.
And Rhonda, yes, Jen's my best friend. They came and stayed at the Dial House.
That's right. And didn't she get sick as well? She had something to eat and then
Yes,
she got sick.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. That was Jen and Rhonda. Just to spark your brain cells before we start the interview. Okay, so I was very surprised that you used to be a skinhead before you got into punk rock, and also like
Yeah.
later on. I don't know if you remember. I used to talk to you on the phone a long time ago, but you told me you like Cockney Rejects and stuff. Then later on, I found that the Business. I was so surprised that Business did a cover, and then when you became punk, did you go see any oi bands or Business, and did you have to like wear a hat and cover your hair or something? Because
No, 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 no. Look, when I was a skinhead, I was 14, 12 years old.
uh-huh.
You know, it's when they first came out in 1960, and it weren't 1969, it was 1968. It began. That's when it started. It came out of the mod thing.
Uh-huh.
But when the Oi thing came along, and the skinheads were every skinhead you saw would you couldn't take it away from the right wing sort of fascist thing, which I thought was unfair. Because the skinhead thing for me was the first identity I ever found as a child, you know, as a young kid. But no, when the Oi thing started, I didn't feel that I could, as Steve, go and see bands because it weren't the bands that were playing. Because most of them, like the Cockney Rejects, the Business, agreed with what Chris was saying. But it was the what I call a lunatic fringe. It was the drunk arseholes who'd gone to see him who would probably start on me. So I had to, you know, I couldn't do it. But you know, yeah.
Okay. And another thing, I was very surprised you were very interested in the Native American culture, and you came to America, and did you stay at the reservation?
No, no one. I've not had that privilege yet, but hopefully in a few years' time that will come.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'd love to, but I just left. There's something about that culture that said something to me. I don't know what it is, but it's like it's because I read a book called Black Elk Speaks.
Uh-huh.
Black Elk Speaks, and if anyone who's not read it, please read it because then you'll understand why the Hollywood cowboys and Indian films are so fucking wrong all the time. Sorry if I'm swearing, I beg your pardon. You'll have to bleep it. But that's why they're so wrong. But if you read that book, Black Elk Speaks, then you'll understand, you know, where I'm coming from with
Yes, because
that thing.
a while back, Allison emailed me and she wanted to get Aslan Underground to open up for you in Pomona. They were the indigenous punk rock band, and they opened up for you. Do you remember that?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Do I remember it? I was blown away. I was like,
Oh,
get the fuck
yeah.
out of it.
He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, and
How'd you like
they,
their set? Doing all the indigenous
I,
instruments and stuff.
but it scared me
Uh-huh.
because it weren't that. It was just the way they said. All of a sudden they were like just dressed normal. All of a
Uh-huh.
sudden they got dressed up in what they were going with
Uh-huh.
sort of face paint and stuff. I was like,
Yes.
fucking hell, really? And then after the gig, we all sort of embraced each other and all that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But they gave me this horrible Native American beer that everyone drinks, and it was bloody dreadful. And so the next time I see them, I'm going to
Uh-huh.
bring the worst beer I can from England so they can taste that as well. So
Okay. And you were a lifeboat man because I'm a
yeah,
lifeguard instructor. I was a open water lifeguard instructor and swimming pool life
right,
instructor, but now I'm a coordinator. But to be a
yeah.
lifeboat man in England, did you have to do like a special training or go through like a 1 month academy of like working out and stuff like lifeguards do? Or
No, because we're not part of the. In England, there is the Royal National Institute for Lifeboats (RNLI) thing. We were separate from that. We were independent.
oh,
So
okay.
no, literally, yeah, literally, it was you do what you can, but you learn very quickly. We have dry suits
Uh-huh.
and life jackets and things. Um, well, we used to. I'm too old. I'm 62 years old now, so I'm too old to be on it.
Uh-huh.
So now what I do is, yeah, what I do now is I fundraise for them. But the 5 years that I spent on it was the most exciting and fulfilling time that I could have ever have done. And like yourself,
Uh-huh.
you've probably pulled people out of the water,
Uh-huh.
well, so have I, and it makes you feel really good.
I don't understand why you say you're too old. You're only what? How old did you say you were?
62.
People are living to 100 these days, so you're only halfway. You're only halfway through your life and stuff.
I know,
Okay.
but the problem
Yes.
is, Jay,
Uh
that
huh.
on our lifeboat, it's an inshore lifeboat,
Uh
so there's
huh.
only three crew members, and it's like bang, 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 bang.
Oh, a
So it
lot of
goes your
physical
bathroom.
activities. Okay. A lot of physical
Yeah,
activities.
absolutely.
Okay.
So at 62 years old, you might be more of a problem for the crew
Right. Right.
who are probably 20. Thanks. So you have to stand down. It basically being on lifeboat is a young person's job.
Okay. Here's something really interesting question I have for you that a lot of people don't know about. You were a rapper. You were a hip hop artist. I heard when Napster was around, my friend sent me the audio file of you rapping. This is a long, long time ago, and I've been searching that all over. I couldn't find it on YouTube. Are you? Do you remember that you were doing hip hop and rapping? It
You
was
know
a
what?
studio
I'll tell you what.
recording,
Yeah, rap rock or something.
right? It
Yeah,
was.
up and down windows under lights.
Where could I find that? I can't find
You
it anymore.
can't.
Why? Why?
No, you can't.
You're not gonna
I
release it?
well, not until I die, and then you can play that in my funeral.
I think that would be cool. Yeah, two hip hop songs, and you should release it. So
Well,
that's not
the
gonna
thing
never
is,
post it
though,
on YouTube.
but the thing is, though,
Uh huh.
when I first heard hip hop, I was in New York,
Uh huh.
and I went down to Coney Island with John Loader, right,
Hmm.
who was live at the time, and this family came home with boom boxes, they were called at the time. They were huge things that you carried on your
Ghetto
shoulder.
blasters. We call it ghetto blaster. Yes.
That's the one. Yeah. And I was like, and I stopped this fan. I went, "Excuse me, but what is that music?" And I went, "And you heard a scratching?" I
Uh
went,
huh.
"When you itch it was like Grandmaster Flash and stuff." So I came back to England,
Uh huh.
listening to all this stuff, on the boardwalk at Coney Island. Everyone was fucking doing it.
Uh huh.
And I said to John Loader, "John, we've got to get into this rap thing." And he went, "Oh, Steve, that will never last." Oh, John, you twat. Yeah, there you go. So that's one for me.
Oh,
So yeah,
right.
when Grandmaster, sorry to interrupt you, Jay, but when Grandmaster Flash came out with the message,
Uh-huh.
I knew that was,
Oh, before we go into the next question, I just want you to know I saw you in Berkeley last year, and that was a amazing performance. You did a Flux of Pink Indian cover live, and you also did one of the songs from Schwarzenegger. And I wanted to know
yeah.
that was my favorite project you did when you did Schwarzenegger. My favorite song is
Oh,
Arts and Craft. That song, Arts and Craft, because there's all the
oh,
keyboards in the background. I love that
yeah,
song. Really, really amazing song for Schwarzenegger and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. That was written about the Freemasons. I'm not,
Yes,
I'm not sure. So that's what it's all about. And yeah, and I like that song as well. It's one of my favourites.
yes.
But of course, being paranoid visions, did it too quickly, so I couldn't get breath. And there
I,
you go.
I was very surprised. Also, you did Conflict, Berkshire Count cover. That was really good. Okay, that was live last year in Berkeley. Also, before we go into next question, I'm gonna give you another flashback. Are you ready for a next flashback?
Yeah, go on.
This
Go on.
was first time you came to California, and we all saluted peace sign to you while you were performing live.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, here's this one. Okay, this is us all saluting peace sign to you while you were singing. Here's the
Oh, yeah,
banner
right.
backdrop. First time strap on Mercenaries Cave. This was in the late 90s. So,
Right, bloody hell.
yes, that was a flashback. Okay,
And it really is a flashback.
long time ago in the 80s, you were into open relationship. What do you think about it now in the practice today? Your views on open relationship today? Does it work or does not work?
No, don't do it because someone is going to get hurt. And I speak from experience. The person who instigates it, that's fine. But the other people suffering, don't do it. Stay away from it. Yeah.
And I have a question. I read this book, The Rest is
Yeah.
Propaganda. It was
Yeah.
it was very sad because you spent all that time doing music, touring. Then you also mentioned you went all the way up in Portland and you had to play like in a house and like I don't know. You were telling all these sad stories like you were. So in this book, I got so sad reading all that music stuff. I thought you were gonna quit music, but what made you do music again before this happened, and what made you tour again and stuff and play shows?
The money.
Uh-huh.
I'm a capitalist, you idiot. No,
Uh-huh.
I'm not. I'm joking. No, I'm joking. No, it was no, it was. I just think it's worth doing. What else will I do if I don't do it? I
Okay.
have to do it. I have to do it. I have to. And it's not just the music, Jay.
Uh-huh.
It's when I go to a concert or a gig. I don't use the dressing room. I'm always at the bar talking to people. I have to meet them.
Okay.
So
All right. All right. Next is my favorite guitarist. Okay. You used to work with him. May he rest in peace. Because I asked this to everybody because I love this person. He played on the album Turning Rebellion into Money. This is Kevin.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh
Kevin.
fucking hell. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
May he rest in peace. But he's my favorite guitarist. Tell me about Kevin. When you hung out with
Well,
him.
Kevin. I mean, on the album, I was sort of in and out, really, just doing vocals, writing lyrics with Colin.
Uh-huh.
But when we got into the studio, Kevin, yeah, he was, nice guy. He was around. I think we got pissed to we got drunk together at some point. Did the usual rock and roll thing, if you want to call it that. Not that I would. But no, he was a lovely geezer. But I'll see what, Jay. With my glass full of alcohol. Here's to Jay. Here's to Kev.
Cheers.
There you go.
Much love and
Chink.
respect to Kevin.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
One of those who can never return.
Also, I heard your interview recently, and you were mentioning Colin's your brother, and everything's cool with you and Colin from Conflict. So since everything's cool and he's your brother, would you ever consider doing a guest vocal sometimes? for conflict?
If it was, yes, if it was right for both of us.
Okay, cool.
It's a bit like a family.
Uh-huh.
If it's the right time, I can't do it today. So don't hold your breath. But
Okay.
at some point, I'm sure us two idiots will get together and do something dreadful.
Cool. I've been talking to he's been sending me message on WhatsApp. We talk back and forth and stuff even today. But all right. In the 80s, you were really concerned about nuclear weapons, and you also did guest vocals on To a Nation of Animal Lovers on the Conflict 7-inch and animal rights and stuff. Now it's 2020. Before all this pandemic happened, what issues were you mostly concerned with?
Getting older.
Oh, getting
Seriously.
older.
Yeah. Do excuse me. Yeah, getting older. It's like because I have to. I've got a cholesterol problem, so I have to have
Oh, okay.
certain medication. Yes.
So more personal,
Yeah.
yes, more personal stuff. Yes.
Well, it's a genetic thing. It's not my fault. It's just my family. The Victorian trait that came down. So I have
Okay.
to take certain medication. So when I go to doctors, oh, we haven't got your medication, and you've been sitting there for half an hour waiting to see the doctor. That kind
Okay.
of thing. Or the ingrowing toenail, or the hair that grows where it shouldn't, or why does it take me? Why do I go when I get up? It's so I'm talking about an age thing.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, well, but who else is saying it?
Thank,
Because the Rolling Stones are going to be young forever.
yeah. Thank you for sharing this with us and stuff. So we'll remember that when we get older, so we could practice Tai Chi, breathing, and meditation and stuff. Thank you.
Well, absolutely. Well, I'm sorry to quote Slice of Life, but your day will come.
Yes, yes, that is true for everybody too. Okay,
Absolutely.
and
On a more cheery note,
yes. Okay, now I want to ask you some deeper questions to get to know you as a person, okay? Are you ready?
yeah.
Okay, since you mentioned about all that. Okay. If a if a miracle happened and your life was perfect and you were happiest you could be, what would that look like? What I hope I can understand is what you care about, your goals and values.
Bloody hellfire. That's about 6 questions in one. You're cheating. By God.
Okay.
If there's a miracle to happen, what would it be? Right, I would open my eyes and the love of my life would still be there beside me, looking into my eyes. And the next part of the question was,
If a miracle happened, your life was perfect, and you were happy as you could be, what would that look like? It'll be you care about. I hope I can understand is what you care about, your goals and values. So
well,
that was it.
okay, then, I'm not taking a piss or nothing, but if a miracle was to happen, then there would be no politicians. We would all be eating ice cream, vegan, of course. Everyone would be, no one would be killed. It would be a lovely blue sky, and we would all have a lovely holiday. And we'd all probably be naked and running around the streets, throwing petrol bombs at vehicles.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Now that you are older and more experienced in life, what do you see now that you wish you could have done differently? Anything you still, sorry, what would the older Steve Ignorant say to the 21-year-old Steve Ignorant?
If you're drinking and driving, make sure you've got a car.
Make sure you what?
Got a car.
Oh,
You have a car.
okay.
Make sure you have an automobile. Sorry, I keep forgetting you're American.
Oh, okay. Yes.
That's a joke. It fell. Yeah. If there's a bit of advice, I can't give advice. It's look. Every day you open your eyes, you wake up, you do what you got to do. If you suffer from depression, or a syndrome like I do, day by day, just day by day. But just look around and see what day by day. That's all. That's all we can do. And when we can, if you feel sad, hug someone.
Okay, cool. What are the most valuable lessons you've learned or insight into life you have gained?
That you're always going to be alone at some point, and be prepared for it.
Oh, wow, interesting. Okay. How important is it to you to have friends, to keep in touch with old friends, and to spend with others? Assuming you have been more social when you were younger, if you find this important to you.
Yeah, well, the worst thing I'm finding about this lockdown that we have in England, and I'm sure you have it there as well, with
Yes, we do.
COVID-19. Sorry to quote the what's it, but the COVID-19. Since that, what I miss very much is going to gigs, and or going to the local bar, and going, hello, mate, how you doing? Put my arms around people. I'm really missing it. I can do it with Fiona, who's sitting next to me. You can't see her. I can do that, but it's like, even I meet people in the street, I can't touch them, and that's really pissing me off. I'm very tactile, and that's human contact is very, very important.
Cool.
And whenever you can, just hug someone, just embrace them. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of gig, what were some of your favorite gigs, like recently? You'd like to go see?
Well, recently, I have to say, when I've done Rebellion with Paranoid Visions a couple of years ago, we did the first Crash song, Crash set with the Schwarzenegger stuff in it as well. And I did Tube Disasters. That sticks in my mind. I have to say that another one with Slice of Life, when we played a concert, and it just worked. It was, it just probably, that was when we was in Wales, in Aberdare. You won't know the place, but I think that that one for me was spot on. So that's a very difficult one to say because everyone is unique.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Okay. Being younger, being younger, we get into punk as lifestyle. Some of us keep living it. For you, do you feel this lifestyle fulfill you now that you're older and can reflect back? If yes, how so?
Yeah, of course it's. Of course, life's life. You do. Look, I can't speak for 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds. As I've said before, I'm in my 60s, so I can't comment on that. You should ask those people. But every day for me is a new day. It has to be. I mean, obviously, I'll get my shit day. Sorry to swear again, but I'll get those days when all I want to do is stay in my room and cry. I do get those days, the dark times. If you get that, please talk to someone. Don't stand alone. Talk to someone. I know there's a lot of people out there suffering from it, and this lockdown is making it worse. So I'm very fearful of those people. But every day has got to be a new day, and you just try your best. You try your best. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it's absolute fucking rubbish. But there you go. But the next day is a new day.
Okay, cool. I have two more questions before we go to the Instagram audience and stuff. How was your show you played last year in Vegas? Tell me about that show. Did you have a good time there? The punk rock bowling?
Yeah, mate, it was so hot. I couldn't believe it. Oh, it was so hot. I don't know what the temperature was, but my God, that hurt. But we stayed in this hotel called the Golden Nugget. It weren't on a strip thing that you called it. It was sort of, a bit away from it. But there was a swimming pool, and everyone there was in a band or something.
Did you go in the pool? Did you go into the water?
Mate, I didn't fucking go in it. No, there's a bar next door. You joking? I'm swimming all through the fucking beard.
You didn't swim?
No, fuck that, no. Yeah, I do, but I weren't doing it then. Mate, they're all fucking suntanned with tattoos, and there's this skinny little one at sort of 16. No, man, I ain't fucking doing that.
Uh-huh.
Right? And anyway, we stayed in this hotel, and every band that you could know stayed in the same hotel. So every time, and that for me was weird because everyone was being so, talking rock and roll or music and stuff. And just thought I just remember having a great time. And then when I was with Paranoid Visions at the time,
Uh-huh.
and then it was our turn to play, and I didn't know, but I had these big films, with film screens the film screens each side of the stage,
Uh-huh.
so everyone knew what you're saying. Right, so I turned around to Pete, right, out of Paranoid Visions. I went, look at these fucking arseholes, they're the fucking wankers. Look, she did that. I didn't
Uh-huh.
know they could see me. I was like, shit. But that was a great fucking gig.
Did you at least
It's a
go bowling? Because it's called punk rock bowling.
no,
Bowling. Did you at least bowl? No.
no,
No bowling either.
no,
No swimming and no bowling. Wow, interesting.
no, no.
Okay.
Strictly cricket.
Oh. Is there anything else you would like to share about yourself or talk about before we open questions from our audience on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm a miserable bastard sometimes, but what you see is what you get. And next time I see you at a concert or on the street or whatever, I will put my arms around you and hug you so closely. That's all I'm saying.
Steve, have you noticed on this whole entire interview, I did not mention this word at all?
It was noticed actually.
I,
Yeah.
I want
And
this
did, you
in.
notice and did you notice I didn't say conflict?
Yes, I, I want this interview to be different because the whole entire every time when you do an interview, people will talk about. That's why I didn't want to mention it. I want this interview different. Okay, do we have any questions from the audience on Instagram? Just type in your question if you do, because if you don't have questions, we're gonna end it. It's already been on 30 minutes. Because there's a question right there.
I can't see that.
Okay,
It's too small.
do you still have a recurring dream when you have hair? Wait, do you still have? Okay,
Yeah, I know what the question is. Yes, I did.
Okay,
Yeah, I do.
here's a question from Jacoby from beginning of the infancy. Do you have any? Hold on. Do you have? Do you have any advice those who want to live cooperatively with others? How to make it work and keep everyone happy?
Yeah, it's always called consideration for others. So if you live in the same house and you have different rooms, don't play your music too loud. Don't put your computer on too loud. It's always consideration for others. If there's washing up in a sink, wash it up. Don't wait. Don't have a rota. If it's dirty, clean it. Literally, that's the way it is.
Okay, this one is from Kurobi Psych. How do I break out of the matrix without breaking myself?
What the fuck is a matrix?
I don't know. I guess the movie Matrix, the Matrix movie, Canoe or what's his name? Was
Um,
it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Ask Penny Rambo.
Will Dave 05. What's Steve's favorite record release on Crash Records?
What's my favourite release on Crash Records?
Yes.
The Feeding of the 5,000.
Cool.
It was pure. It was the first one we've done. It was pure. That's exactly what I meant to say. Boom. That's it. Have it.
Cool. Mine's is Sound 7-inch and the Mob 7-inch. I could go on and on. Okay. Okay, that's not a question. Okay, Near Earth. Thanks for the inspiration. What music are you listening to?
Hmm?
Thanks for the inspiration. What music are you listening to? Maybe he's asking what music are you listening to these days?
Oh, at the moment, I'm listening to. It's going to sound weird, but a lot of movie soundtracks. It just inspires me, just movie soundtracks, because there's no lyrics to it. But also, I have to say, yeah, always, as always, bit of Johnny Mitchell, and a lot of Burt Bacharach. There's something about it. I don't know. It's and I'm getting this doo-wop as well. It's something I don't know why.
Okay, it's been already 30 minutes for you, so we're gonna take on two more questions and that's it. Um,
I do
what,
doo-wop then.
what's your? Here's an interesting one.
What am I?
From Will Davis. What's your opinion on the hardcore punk? I guess what's your opinion about the punk scene to now?
Well, if you're out there doing it, go and fucking do it. Whoever wrote this book, this unwritten punk rock book of rules, whoever said that you can't do this or you can't do that, who wrote it? Because the day I see it, because I've broken every rule in it. If you're in a band and you're coming out and do it, some of it's gonna be crap, some of it's gonna be great. It'll make you cry, it'll make you laugh. You'll wake up feeling shit in the morning. If you're doing it, go and do it, but just go and do it. Because if you don't do it now, you'll never do it. Just go for it, but you've got to do it with this.
For Moral Bondage, what's your favorite group to play with in the early 80s and why?
That's got to be the Poison Girls. Because I was too young to realise that she was 45 years old and a single parent. And the subject she was talking about was not only feminism, but also bring up a family on her own. And I'll always forget that, but I did get to hug vice versa. And so the Boys and Girls for me, and she wrote some great songs. I mean, don't ever forget the Boys and Girls. They are, boom.
Yes, rest in peace. Rest in peace to V. And Coral D. Syke asks, how do I become free without becoming selfish?
I don't. Well, give all your money away then. I don't know. Fucking hell, that's bizarre.
Yes.
How do I become free without what?
How do I become free without becoming selfish? That's what Coral Syke wrote. How do I become free without becoming selfish?
Look, let's stop this now because it's getting very deep. I'm not a guru or nothing like that. I'm just a working class. I'm just a working class kid from working class area in England.
Okay.
Some of these questions are a bit. I don't live in America, so I don't know what your situation's over there. But all I can say is for myself, how can I become free without being selfish? How do you become free without being selfish? And what is selfish? I don't know. It's, look, as I've said, wake up every day, do the best you can. If your worst enemy falls over in front of you, pick them up and then punch them. Make sure they're alive first, but do it that way. Gently.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much for the interview, Stephen. Sorry for going over 6 minutes, but thank you very much. And when this is over, I will see you soon. I hope everything is over, and I want to see you on stage again. Okay, Steve?
Don't worry, I'll be there.
All right, cool.
I'll tell you what, mate. You can buy me. I'll tell you what. Next time you see me, you can buy me a beer.
But I don't drink alcohol now. I don't support the alcohol industry. Can I buy you carrot juice or celery juice or spinach juice or something?
Fuck that! I'll shit myself. Right, okay then. Buy me a glass of water.
You told me that a long time ago when I saw you live. Hey, you want me to buy you a drink? And I said, Steve, I don't drink alcohol and stuff. But thank you very much. I'll keep in touch with you. Thank you for the interview. And take good care of yourself and stay safe.
You too, and everyone out there in America, stay safe. Stay home, stay safe.
Yes.
Take care of
yourself. Take care. Bye. Peace.
Bye.